I always wonder how much psychiatrists spend on Kleenex. I'm trying to prepare myself for this video, but I don't think I'm ever going to be prepared to make this video. My emotional support water bottle. Life update. I actually have so many things to update on that I've made a list. Life's been hard lately. I'm going through what I would describe as a particularly rough patch. Sometimes I feel like that's the only time I make videos on YouTube. I have had a few rough patches. So if you've watched my weekly vlog, which I will link down below, you may have seen that I was in a relationship that started in February. See, I'm just blanking. Like when I get RTMS, it feels like I've written a really hard test that day or something. Like it's like I can't think. Like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. The magnets are doing something to my brain. Let's just put it that way. Fell very in love very quickly, and it was very intense. It was a whirlwind romance. The move-in affected my income that I get from the government, so that was reduced. We got engaged with the same ring that my late dad used to propose to my mom. And unfortunately, they were never able to have a wedding because he passed before that could happen. So this ring had a huge emotional meaning behind it. We got engaged August 2nd, and literally 2 weeks later, the relationship ended. I want to protect my ex's privacy as much as I can. I'm not going to give details. I have been learning how hitting significant milestones in relationships can sometimes change the relationship dynamic a little bit. I couldn't even pay rent on the apartment with the amount that Aish was going to be giving me because I was living with a partner that was making income. We had just filed the paperwork for them to do that mid-July. Then I called them mid-August and I was like, actually, we broke up. Can I have my full benefits back, please? And then they were like, we need to see your name on an actual lease, like not the one you shared with your ex, before we release your September payment. Keep in mind that this is my only source of income at the moment because I am dealing with many chronic health conditions that I'm trying to get under control. We had like a tiny little 1-bedroom apartment. It was very cozy, but not great after breaking up with someone. I had to start looking for a place, and I didn't have money to be able to go anywhere. Like I can't afford even to live with a roommate. Like me and my mom were looking at living together. Housing is so expensive, and disability benefits are pennies. Luckily, my mom has an apartment and has a couch that folds out into a creaky little bed. It's a futon, I guess is the proper term. So I've been sleeping on that. I contacted the affordable housing that I was living in prior to moving in with my ex. I basically explained my situation. I was like, hey, like, do you have anything available for me? I am going through a breakup and I have nowhere else to go, basically. And they did have a suite available. It's huge, it's massive. There's new flooring in it, which is really nice for affordable housing. Like I was going to take whatever I could get, right? But it's quite a new spiffy suite. They said I still had to do the application. It was very hard to fill out because I didn't know what to put for my current address because I'm homeless. Technically, I'm homeless. I'm couch surfing. They weren't able to move me in until Wednesday next week. And Aish is going to be withholding my September payment until I get the signed lease to them. But it's the government. Can't really count on them to process paperwork very fast. I'm going to submit the lease as soon as I sign it on Monday. And I'm just hoping and praying that the government processes it in time for me to make my September payment, because I also have to book movers because I have disabilities. It makes moving really hard. And then I have to pay the damage deposit and things like that and the prorated August rent. So financially, things are in a very tough spot for me right now, which I feel like is like the story of my young adult life. This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. I can't work full time at the moment because of my disabilities. It's so ironic too, because like I wanted nothing more than to be like this person that was like dedicated to their job. Like I loved the idea of work and I loved working when I could. I was a straight A student. I did a bunch of networking and volunteering, and like I had set myself up for a very successful career, and then my mental health got in the way. Treatment resistant depression, and then nerve pain after I got COVID, and that was that. Now I'm on less than $2,000 a month. I just have to find a way to make that work. Once upon a time, many moons ago, I was in a business and I saw something racist happened. And then I tweeted about it. And then I got served for a defamation lawsuit. Legal fees right now, having a hard time making that work too. Dealing with that because we're coming up on 3 years, which is the maximum amount of time that you can go for like getting the case dismissed, I guess, or something. I don't know. I'm getting RTMS. I'm taking a break from ECT and shock therapy. Tiring. You have to go every day for about 45 minutes. And it feels like a woodpecker pecking on your head. My eyelid usually twitches, and sometimes I get headaches just on this side of my head. But it is helping. It's helping me keep my head above water. For that, I am appreciative. Unfortunately, the government only covers so many RTMS treatments. Usually there's 30 in an acute set. But last time I did it last year, I needed maintenance treatments after the acute set, and they don't cover that. So then I had to go back to ECT. So I suspect that's what will happen again. RTMS would be much cheaper to provide than ECT, which is a process where you have to go under general anesthesia and things like that. Like financially, it just makes more sense to cover RTMS treatments for patients. But that would make sense. And governments, they're resistant to that. I got rid of a lot of my stuff when I moved in with my ex. We lived in a very small apartment, and it was so intense, the relationship, and I truly felt like he was my soulmate. And so I was like, I'm never going to need this stuff again. And I got rid of duplicates of some of our stuff, like tea kettle, or like we didn't need a bed, like 2 beds. We only had 1 bedroom, that kind of thing. I've been trying to procure furniture whatever way I can. I did thrift the most adorable bright pink bed. I'm pretty sure it's meant for children, but I love it. So I thrifted it from Habitat for Humanity. My ex did buy me out of the couch and the bed. So I was able to use that money to get another couch at Habitat for Humanity too, which is like really dirty. Just needs a good clean, but it's kind of got scallop details, which I love. And I was in active alcohol addiction for a few years in my 20s. And during that time, I was very irresponsible with my money. And I ended up racking up, I think it was $13,000 in consumer debt. And I went into a consumer proposal that affected my credit, but I did get it paid down. But I'm in need of money now, and I have no access to a line of credit or a credit card or anything like that. And it all just kind of feels like I've needed help one too many times, if that makes sense. Like I've kind of like worn out my welcome to the universe. I've been getting so much support on social media. I've also been getting a lot of judgment because people are like, what the hell? You got engaged 2 weeks ago. Like, why are you going through a breakup? And I'm sure they'd love to know, but I'm just going to say that I'm listening to Kesha's song Praying on repeat. That's what I'm going to say about the relationship. Living on a couch, getting brain treatments every day, poor, broke, not sure if I can make my rent, didn't have a permanent address to write down, emotionally shattered from the breakup and the things that went on prior to the breakup. This is going to sound like a very low bar. Trigger warning, I haven't attempted anything yet. But usually, like this many life stressors would push me past the brinks. I didn't know how to tolerate my emotions or face what I've had to face. And I've been coping with it quite well, leaning on yin yoga, music, RTMS, therapy, meditation, my support system. I do think this is going to make me stronger, which is always annoying. It's like, why can't the good things make me stronger, you know? It reminds me of this meme I have. I'll put it up here. Life is full of ups and downs. You guys are having ups? That's how it feels sometimes. But yeah, I do have ups. And I will get through this. The hardest thing I ever had to do was to go back and get ECT and go under general anesthesia again after I was paralyzed while still awake because of a mistake the anesthesiologist made in a previous treatment. That gave me medical PTSD, and I was terrified. Still am terrified every time I go in for shock treatment. But it's what I had to do to survive. So I did it. And right now, I'm doing what I have to do to survive. And I'm really proud of myself for that. It's been so long since I posted on YouTube. Pepper has passed away. So I will put some clips of my cats that I'm fostering. Essentially, I look after them and someone else pays their expenses, which is like, twist my rubber arm. Oh no, looking after two cats while someone else pays their expenses. Oh no. They've been amazing to have around. One of them is very emotionally intelligent, Goldie, and whenever I'm crying, she always comes over to comfort me, try and soothe me. It helps. My psychiatrist basically said, we can be doing everything right for your mental health. It's like planting seeds. So exercise is a seed, medication is a seed, treatments are a seed, therapy is a seed. But if the soil, the environment that you're living in is not good for you, nothing's going to grow. And I had fallen back into a depressive episode, and we were desperately trying to figure out why. We know why now. He was very supportive of me, called me brave, and then that made me cry. And I always wonder how much psychiatrists spend on Kleenex. Like they must just spend an astronomical amount on Kleenex boxes because everyone cries in their office. Very normal thoughts to have. That is why I'm seeing my psychiatrist. No, just kidding. So I hope you didn't get whiplash from all those life updates. Thanks for being here in my little corner of the internet. I really do appreciate you guys being here. Just please try and take care of yourselves. I'm trying my best to take care of myself too during this time. So I bought my iced tea and a book called The Breakdown, which is a very apt description of what's happening in my life right now. But it's a murder mystery kind of thing. And I have to find out who the murderer is. I'm going to try and do that rather than ruminate about all the things in my life that I am stressed about. So I do want to post YouTube videos more frequently. I know I say that a lot, but I really have just been in survival mode. Thank you for your patience around that. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
I'm trying to read.
How can such a small cat take up so much couch?